Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is a little bonus reading all about you. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. Now, us tarot readers, we tend to focus on money, career, or love, but we never really ask, how are you doing? So this reading is going to tap into what you're going through on a personal level, how you're moving through this period, and what lies on the other side for you. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see at this time? Can you please show them the way? What are they meant to be knowing during this period of what they're going through? How are things going to work out for them? Now, I'm scrying in the water at the same time as doing a reading, and what I can see right now is a raging fire, okay? Now, it is contained in like a hearth, okay? Like a fireplace type thing. So this can indicate that you're trying to continue passionately towards your goals. Could also indicate you're striving for a more comfortable life. For some of you, you may feel that you've got to a comfortable position, but you want to maintain or sustain a position in some way, and you're working really hard to keep life running smoothly in a certain direction there. But ultimately, I feel this energy of passion, this kind of like burning desire. Some of you may feel that you somehow lost your sparkle or your lust for life in some way, and you're trying to reconnect to a part of yourself that is intensely passionate. And I feel that you are very close to reliving those passions, because I'm being given this energy of reliving something, and you're going to reconnect to a part of yourself that you may have felt that you lost touch with, or almost like put on hold, dormant. I mean, I'm not surprised to see the soul passion as your final card there, because you are a very soulful, passionate, deep person. So you've been in a very cathartic phase when you've been kind of like learning a little bit more about yourself, what you're capable of. And because we have the magnetism card, which I will show you in a moment, but it's in the resistance position. So you may feel that life somehow, it's not as magical as it used to be. And you may have felt also that some of your manifestations have been a little bit on hold, on pause. But you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, which means that's all about to change for you. But I feel a lot of your energy has been fluctuating. Some of you may have felt that one minute you're hot, then you're cold. Some of you may have felt that you feel clouded, then sudden like clarity. I feel a lot of you may be looking into like hormonal imbalances or something health related there. I don't see anything negative here, but you may be trying to keep balance in terms of what you eat, what you digest, because you feel that there's been a lot of fluctuations going on. I mean, some of you may have been going through a certain cycle or change in life in some way, and you're just noticing the difference, and you're trying to harness this energy because it feels like it fluctuates a lot. Now, of course, that's on a personal health related level there. 6 of Pentacles is like something out of balance because it's in the resistance position. So I'm not surprised to see this. A lot of you, because you've got cups there, this is it's like a hormonal imbalance, but for some of you, it could be a vitamin deficiency. Only you can locate that. It's going to be different for everybody, of course, and it's always good to seek the advice of a practitioner who can give you the right tests or find the right reason for these fluctuations. Again, I don't see anything negative here, but I want you to be aware of it, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you are very close to burnout. Now, we do have the Tower here, which can represent a shock, okay? So I will pull a card on it. A lot of people, they get a little bit nervous about the Tower. I always say it's not a negative card. It means you've been stuck in a cycle of repeat, something you found really hard to get out of, and you feel like you're going round and round in circles. But there is a breakthrough when you get the Tower energy. So it could be that perhaps you've been trying to find a reason for your energy being super up one day and the next you're feeling really lethargic, and you seek advice from a practitioner and they go, oh, you know what, you're deficient in vitamin A, or you have a hormonal imbalance there, so we can just treat you in this way. And suddenly, you've had that breakthrough and you are revitalized. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that. But anyway, let's bring it back to your energy. Looking at the overarching energy here, I feel like you're trying to make some radical changes in your life. Of course, I feel you are getting to know yourself on a deeper level. The cup of love starts for the self first. You're learning about unconditional love for self. I feel a lot of you have been very guarded throughout your life because you've been really hurt. Okay, I see a lot of you have battled away in life, and I feel like there is this energy, and I will tap into it as I get to that Nine of Wands there. I mean, for a Scorpio reading, there's always a Tower, or there's always like a Nine of Wands, or something that has indicated a level of difficulty that you've had to power on through. And I feel like you're tired. You're like, when does it ever change? I feel like, you show up for life every single day, and I feel, life is about to reward you. But what I'm seeing here is a lot of you are in a very intense period of inner knowledge, but also healing. And we have to remember that you're not healing to handle trauma and pain, disappointment, anxiety, or like depression. You've experienced those things, okay? Now you're on a healing path to be able to handle and accept joy and happiness back into your life. And that's what I see with this Ace of Cups coming your way. So let's get into each individual card. We've got Solidity, Inner Core, and it's number 18. Now, number 18 is the Moon card energy. So I feel like, you are learning to try and connect to romanticizing your life in some way, because you may have felt that you've been in a very dark place or a very changeable place because you've been going through an intense period of metamorphosis. I feel like you're learning to purge negativity. And when you get this card, it indicates that, you've been so constant in all your endeavors and you don't stop until it's done. You are going to see progress, okay? I feel you're in a period right now of seeking people who are reliable in your life. And if you feel like you're the only one showing up here, I feel like you're recognizing that you are the most important person in your life and you're choosing you. Now, that is not a selfish way to conduct life, because when you are happy and full of joy, it spreads outwards. It's an infectious energy. So, whenever you meet a person, you will affect their energy and vice versa. So I feel like you're learning that, quietening the inner critic is very important, because it means you're not tearing yourself down with negative thoughts. I'm also getting an energy here of perfectionism, okay? A lot of you, I feel, have gone through life always wanting something to be perfect, putting so much pressure on yourself. But as you mature, you start to realize that there is a reason and a season for everything, and that anything that has not gone your way is actually a silver lining, because it basically points you in a new direction. I always say rejection is a natural protection and redirection, okay? And I feel right now, a lot of you, you've got so much on your mind, but the most important thing right now for you is inner peace, okay? You've got that dove there. You're trying to quieten your mind, silence the inner critic, but also I feel like you're trying to live more in the present moment. Mindfulness, so important for you to take that time. Now, I want you to be aware that the greatest power that you have is from the inside outwards. So it's more about how you feel about yourself. And actually, you really are a force to be reckoned with. I'm not surprised to see the cards that have popped up here, but I did expect, with the energy that I was getting from your reading, there is a volcano card in this deck, and I expected to see that because I see you reshaping your landscape in some way, like forming a new path. Doesn't mean the goal has changed. It means that you're in a period of self-development. And if you think about that volcano, it's like this dormant kind of lava energy where you really are like building up to something that is going to transform the way you live or the way that you conduct yourself. And it's leading from your soul, the core of yourself. And that's why you've got inner core. So I really feel here that you're following your passions. You really are a strong person because you've had to be strong. I feel like you've learned that no one is coming to save you. I feel like you are pushing forward and you are making life happen as best as you know how. And I feel like you're leading with your desires there. But I feel this is about the two sides of the mind. And especially since you can see this particular card, like, there is the world there, okay? So, of course, the inner world will reflect outwards, but I feel a lot of you are feeling, because you're so sensitive and have a lot of empathy, you're feeling the pain of the world, but also you're noticing the restructure of the present world as we move into a new kind of energy, okay? So I feel like you're being very observant about what's going on in the world. And more than anything, I can see that you wish there to be peace, and I feel like you're trying to do your bit, but at the same time, I feel like you're trying to raise vibrations because you recognize that, if we change our little patch of the world and be as positive, kind as possible, then of course it will filter out into the universe and it will change the vibration. Remember, we are all one. We are all connected, interconnected even in the universe. And if everyone did that in their own little patch of the world, then of course as a whole, then there will be a coming together and much more peace. But I feel here, you are so passionate and you're so intense. And I feel some of you've been trying to learn to address extreme emotions, and I feel like you are trying to recognize that, when you need to be passionate, intense, and transform something, then you will lead with that energy. It comes like not to 100. You can access that energy whenever you feel it's necessary. But I feel right now you're in a period of trying to just manage stress levels and pressure and just find the center of yourself in some way in order to bring peace and trust the process. Easier said than done, I know, but also I feel sometimes you're torn, okay? There's an energy of being spiritually evolved and being very peaceful, and some of you feel that sometimes people have misunderstood your kindness for weakness, but underneath there is a passion and an anger like no other, but you don't really want to go there, okay? You're nobody's fool and no one can step upon you, but I feel like you've had some experiences in your life which has really made you feel like somehow you lost your power, or somehow you feel it knocked your confidence, and you're trying to rediscover that part of yourself or get back to that stage. It's always there. It's never gone away. But I feel like you're in a different stage of life right now where you're choosing you, and you recognize that anger, that frustration, that fury, sometimes the only person it hurts is you, because you can put it out. It can affect their vibration. It can affect a person, but ultimately they'll go away and live their life. The emotions and the energy, they remain in your muscles and in your stress kind of frequency for quite some time. And it actually, triggers things like cortisol or high levels of, what do you call that? I'm being given an energy. Could you please give me... Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Cholesterol, things like that. Those reactions ultimately are triggering things that will only hurt you. So I feel like you are aware of this and you're trying to temper the way that you respond to things. So I feel actually you're in a very positive change right now, and I mean, it is solidity, so I feel like things are coming together for you. I feel like you're creating really solid foundations in your life, and we live in a very loud and distracting kind of world right now, and you're being called to find that peace, that silence, that stillness in order to not just quieten your mind, but also to focus on things that make you truly happy and peaceful, where your focus feels like it's bringing joy, focusing on the things that build you up rather than tear you down. So I feel right now you're in a very personal change, a transformation. I mean, you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, so you're definitely turning your luck around. I see there's positive shifts and change happening here, but you're acutely aware of the transitory nature of life and experiences, and I feel like you've also been learning to be very flexible to ride that wave of life. Sometimes you got to be strong. Sometimes you got to be vulnerable. Sometimes you got to be open. We must not harden to life's challenges. And I feel like you are trying to reconnect to that inner child. There's something here about your inner child. You may have gone through a very intense, difficult period when you were younger, and it's like you've become the adult that you always wanted in your life to let you know everything's going to be okay. So I feel there's this intense little warrior inside you that you've been your whole life, and you've had to show up, you've had to be protective. I feel like you've had a lot of kind of responsibility on your shoulders, and now it is time to acknowledge that you can release, you can let go, that you are safe and you're secure and you made your way, and actually I feel the best is yet to come. So a lot of you, I feel there is an intense journey of remembering your childhood and remembering how magical things can be. But I also see here that things were out of balance when you were younger, and you may have struggled with people on your journey who were selfish. This doesn't have to be from childhood, but I feel like you've experienced situations where people, they tried to hurt you or wound you. And I'm getting an energy here that it's like you've got empathy burnout, because you tend to try and see things from other people's perspective. Like, why did they do that? Why did they try to hurt me? Why did they say that thing? Why are they ignoring me? You know, a lot of the time you've taken back your power by saying, you know what, doesn't bother me. I don't care about that person. Doesn't affect me. But in the quiet hours where you're like thinking things through, if you're really honest with yourself, I feel like sometimes you question and ask, why did they do that? What happened there? You know, I'm just being a nice person trying to live life, trying to like get by and try and build a life of security and sanctuary for me and my family. Why did that have to happen? And I feel like right now, you know, there is an energy in your sensitivity that you feel so overloaded to the point where you've even become so exhausted in wondering why people have hurt you. You know, I feel like you're stepping back, you're detaching. But there's an important message here. Do not allow your heart to harden based on these experiences. These experiences, they made you stronger. They actually made you who you are right now, and you're a very passionate, intense person, and you're stronger than ever before, okay? I actually see that you're influencing your fortune right now. It's almost like the quieter your mind, the more focused and diligent you are on the thing that you want, the power of the mind, the manifestations, you're turning those visions into reality, and luck is favoring you right now. I feel like you may have thought you've gone through a period where everything that you try and do, it's short-lived or it doesn't work out for you, but that is all about to change. You're on the verge of a breakthrough here, and I see more fortune coming your way, especially in love. But if not, if you're in a high-level commitment, this is in things that you love doing. I see a radical transformation here. We've even got the Queen of Pentacles. I see a lot of you, you know, securing yourself in the home space. I feel like a lot of you have been almost in hermit mode. I feel like you've been focusing a lot on the home space, making it your sanctuary. For some of you, I mean, this reading's not about money or work or anything like that. You may have been trying to work from home in some way, or you're doing something that secures you and your family's future. And you're going to be so on target, okay? You're definitely going to turn your life around, but also there is extra fortune coming your way as well. Now, of course, with the Wheel of Fortune, it can indicate that you understand that life, it's a game of risk. You can either back yourself or you can doubt yourself. And I feel that you have learned that, you know, when you are under a lot of pressure or you are under, you know, some difficult circumstances, you tend to show up for yourself and you're actually aware of what you're capable of. So I feel you know that you are a strong person, but I feel like you're very tired of having to always be that strong person. I'm also being given here that life does not get better by chance, okay? It gets better by change. And you've got the Death card here. Where is that Death card? Oh, I thought you had the death card here, but you don't. You actually have the tower energy, which is basically breaking out of the death card energy, which means the transformation is nearly complete, that you are going to surprise yourself by something that you took a risk on. I mean, the tower energy is actually to take that leap of faith on a very difficult situation that you feel that you're stuck in. And, you know, it can be a surprise, a paradigm shift, which works in your favor. Maybe you're about to get the death card when I clarify. I'm not sure, but I'm getting strong death card energy in your reading. But I thought, like with the energy that I'm getting, that you actually had got the death card, but I've obviously been mistaken there. So let me just pull a card to see this Wheel of Fortune and the King of Wands. The King of Wands energy, this is not a gender specific reading. It literally means that you're influencing your life. You're taking charge. You're taking leadership and ownership of your life because you're aware that there must be change. You've got the Eight of Wands there, which of course is transformation, but in a positive sense. I see a lot of you also really looking at bad habits and trying to break bad habits and release anything that's hindering you in some way. We've got the Emperor. So this is like taking charge. This is about all your responsibilities. I feel a lot of you have been very responsible from a very young age. And even though the death card didn't come out, I'm not sure why I'm being given that energy, but it's very present in your reading. A very intense transformation for the last couple of years that you've been going through. And I feel like you had a choice. I feel like you had a choice of sink or swim in some area of your life, and you chose to swim. I feel that you are someone who is immensely powerful. You don't even see how powerful you are. But whatever it is you're transforming for now, I feel it has long-lasting effects. In the future, like your future self is thanking you right now for all that you're doing, for showing up for yourself, for backing yourself, for betting on yourself is what I am being given here. Because of course, life is a risk. You know, we try something and we don't know how it's going to go. We have to just trust the process. And I feel a lot of you have tried to surrender to that. And it's been hard, but you're going to see it's going to be worth it there as well. Now, of course, the Emperor energy indicates that you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And some of you may feel that you've hit a certain plateau in your life and you're wondering what next. Because the Eight of Wands is to transform and it is to change, move on from where you are right now. It's an intense transformation card that serves as an indication of your power to explore new territories that you're eager to experience. So I feel like you're gathering up all this strength to transform. And there is a major adventure of discovery energizing you very shortly. If it's not now, it's definitely very, very soon. Now, some of you also are trying to make a move in your life. This could be a physical move, could be moving from a job or an environment, a neighborhood, a country, a state, whatever it is. I feel like you are moving forward and you're making progress and you're in charge of this as well. And I feel, especially with the Emperor energy and the Eight of Wands, it really comes back to you tempering the way that you react to certain things, extreme emotions. I feel like you're trying not to have like knee-jerk reactions. I feel like you're really trying hard to be a positive force in the world and transform your world and your circumstances through the power of your passions. This is a card to lead with passion. And I feel with this card as well, there's an indication here that you're pretty sensible most of the time, right? But I see there's an energy here of occasionally needing to go off the rails or do something wild. Because I feel a lot of you feel that life has been full of responsibilities and heaviness, and you want to embrace your wild or rewild yourself in some way and just let loose. And I feel that is going to be a healthy balance for you, okay? Because life, it cannot exist on one plane. So if you feel that you've got to a comfortable level in your life and you're looking for the next stage, this is about tapping into your heart's desire and really running with it. Your intuition knows the way. Now, also, the King of Wands, especially with the solidity card there, I feel some of you, there is an energy of you may have had a period where you felt really lost, but I actually don't see that you're lost. I see that you've been in an uncomfortable state where your old self is undergoing a transformation and your new self is being reborn in some way. And you may have felt like you're in the in-between stages. And that's when things get really exciting because you're shifting perspective. As you can see, it's like the old way is shattering, the old world as you knew it. The old you is shattering because you are forming new landscapes. And I feel very excited about the next steps. You may even shock people. You may have like a new look about you, new wardrobe. It can be as extreme as that, but I feel it's a very intense, personal inner change that you've been going through, and it's going to radiate out. Now, of course, this card indicates as well that you've been looking at energy levels, especially with the Nine of Wands. You may notice that when someone hurts you or says something that wounds you, it changes your whole day. It changes your whole week. It changes everything about you because you care so much. And I feel you may be looking at how intensely it changes you based on who the person is that does what they do. So for example, if it's a family member that does something and you're like, that's not acceptable, because of course sometimes there's conflict in families, you may notice that actually it changes the way that you respond to everything else in your life. Everything is connected. And you may notice that things just don't feel right. It's always on your mind until it becomes solved or there is a healing gone on there. So I feel like you're looking at pockets of yourself right now based on the experiences that you've had with people in life in general. These could be people you still have conflict with, or that you haven't resolved an issue with, or people that you've phased out of your life. There's little pockets within you that I feel like you've been going through systematically in order to release and let go so that you can create peace of mind. Remember, healing and forgiveness, very hard to do forgiveness, but it's not to lighten someone else's accountability or responsibility in their actions. It's there to lighten your karmic load so that it doesn't affect you and hurt you anymore. So I see a lot of you releasing because some of you may feel that you've had the world on your shoulders in some way based on the experiences that you've had, and you're just letting it go, and it's a lighter feeling. It gives you an opportunity to focus or reframe how you want to live your life, and I see that you're very empowered. It's a cathartic experience. You may have noticed there's a lot of nostalgia recently based on the planetary alignments. You may have been going over old ground on what someone did to you, what they said to you, and it's been very hard to let go of that past until now. Now you're free. I feel like there's a renewal happening here for you. Now, I feel with this card, you tend to attract a lot of attention. A lot of people are interested in you physically, okay? And they see you as a warrior. They see you as someone who is very strong. But there's an energy here about like you keeping people at arm's length. For some of you, you are very personable. People love spending time with you, but you don't let them into your inner core or your inner circle until you really trust that person. And people feel that. There's a natural barrier there. Some of you, this is important to keep that barrier healthy and high, because I feel there's an energy here where you overgive sometimes, and it's important to make sure that the people that you give to really deserve your time, your care, and your attention, because you're very protective of the people that you really care about. You are literally ride or die, and I feel it's important that you know that your social circle of friends is small for a reason. Number one, because you're very discerning about the company that you keep, but also you have a calling. You have a calling in this lifetime to focus on, and I feel like you're manifesting a lot of rewards because of your attention to your calling. It's almost like I see a lot of you have given yourself to something that you're really like almost obsessive about. So just watch that, because I feel with that obsessive energy, there is a perfectionism here at the bottom of your energy, and sometimes perfectionism can make us doubt. It can actually prevent us from moving forward because we never feel it's 100% right. But the right people around you, as well as your intuition, will always support that knowingness of when it is the right moment to launch something or move forward on something. And I feel a lot of you have learned that your happiness is not tied up with another person, and that's why your social circle or your soul tribe circle is so small. And I feel, of course, you've got a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people that you would call friends, but you know, you're really close people. I feel they are so close to your heart. Those are the people who basically know a little bit more about you than anybody else, because I feel like you're a very private person and you've been very selective with the people that you've allowed to get close to you. And I feel this is very important because it helps you retain your energy and not be drained by the wrong people, okay? There's a lot of people in your energy who have noticed what you're capable of, and I feel like they see you elevating and they kind of don't like it because they cannot control you in some way. I actually feel like you have at least one person that you know who, and I feel like intuitively you know who this person is. They see that you are changing your life in some way and becoming very successful. And although this person could be quite successful in their own right, they actually want to keep you where you are because this is familiarity for them. And they should learn later on in life that familiarity breeds contempt and that everyone must process, progress, and change. Transformation is the one constant thing that we see in life in general, okay? That's the one thing. Seasons change, people change, circumstances change, and we must remain flexible to that. And when you've got the Wheel of Fortune energy, which means you're aware that sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, you know, you remain flexible. And you're the sort of person who would champion anyone, both in their success, but also in their weaker moments where they feel a little bit vulnerable. But you may have noticed that people do not do the same for you because they always see you as someone who is super strong. And they actually sometimes, especially this one person, they're very jealous of your success. Not that they don't want you to succeed at all. It's just that it reminds them of what they are not capable of. So I feel it's very important to protect your energy there as well, okay? Now, I see a lot of you trying to live a life of simplicity is what I see, in order to quieten the mind, but also to find inner peace as well as outer peace. So I feel like you are disconnecting from a lot of things. Some of you may have even said, you know what, I'm going to like limit my cell phone time, or I'm going to detach from things that distract, because I feel like you're having like a major overhaul in your life, body, mind, and soul. Now, this card, it is number 37, and when you reduce that, 3 plus 7 is 10. There's a lot of 10s in your reading. Wheel of Fortune is also number 10. I feel like you've had to endure a lot of endings in your life, and they have been painful to let go of. And I feel that this is just setting up for your path ahead, because I feel like you were meant to learn certain experiences in your life so that you could help other people later on. Sometimes a lesson that we learn is to raise our vibrations, but also it is to impart that wisdom and knowledge as we go forward. This could be towards a friend later on, or if you have children, for example, to impart your knowledge with children. So I feel it's important to recognize some of the most difficult, challenging experiences, and you've had them. You've got the 9 of Wands there. I feel you've been through a lot. You've been tested left, right, and center, to the point where sometimes you may have even had a test of faith there, but you still believed. And that is the thing that is powering you through, and that is where you're going to be rewarded. There is some really good karma coming back around here for you. Now, this card, of course, it is a card of magnetism, and you are attracting some really awesome things your way. But this card actually asks you to know your values and needs so that you're more aware of what it is you are attracting, you know? So when you attract a person into your life that has low vibrations, I feel there's a message there about higher, healthier boundaries, but also therein contains the message and the learning curve itself. You may notice that people, they tend to project their energy onto you, and because you're an empath, you tend to be there for people in times of need, support. You always feel responsible, but you must be aware if someone continues to drain your energy or resources, then this is an imbalanced situation, and you may teach this person to correct the balance in some way. But at the end of the day, I feel this energy that you must not enable this person's behavior all the time. Otherwise, it will continue to drain your energy and resources, is what I'm being given there. Now, a lot of you with this card, there's an energy here that there is a natural law of attraction, okay? And you're not someone who runs with the herd. You're someone who is actually quite a solitary person. You really enjoy your own company, but there is a message here to be a little bit more interconnected with your soul tribe, reach out a little bit more to the people that you really care about. But also I feel like you're going to meet new people. people who have had very similar journeys than you, and it's going to be very rewarding. But you may have felt that the law of attraction has not been working for you recently, but that's all about to change for you. You're going to get a major surprise where something is being offered to you. Now, for some of you, this could be financial in nature, but more than anything, I feel it's, something that you're going to love, that makes you feel emotionally secure and rewarded. And I feel you're going to have this sense of fulfillment, this feeling of contentment, that everything is slotting into place as you wish. Also, I'm just being given lots of animals and insects right now being drawn to you. I feel you're currently in this natural state of being connected to the universe, and this is actually helping your manifestations. Remember, anything you feel you haven't manifested right now, the Wheel of Fortune is actually turning things in your favor to bring them into your life right now on the physical plane. So I'm also being given with this card that you don't take the shallow alternative in life. You're a very deep person, and I feel what you experience in life has really affected you, especially from your childhood, and this is why you are almost like going back to your inner child to reignite those passions, but also to remind that inner child that there's nothing to fear, that you've got this, and that you are more powerful than you give yourself credit for as well. Now, I'm being given an energy here that, you are someone who actually does know your worth. You do know your values, but I feel it took you a long time to get to that state where you felt truly confident in yourself. You've learned a lot about yourself. I feel like you're also the sort of person, you ask a lot of questions. You ask questions from the very beginning, like, why is it called the universe? What is the meaning of life? Why do we exist? What are the planets? What's going on in the world? Who governs the world? I feel like you are the sort of person asking the bigger philosophical questions in life, and you are the observer. And this is going to give you a key position when things change and transform in the world, as they are going to. Intuitively, you know that. This is the card of preparation. This is the card of you kind of being aware that there is transformations occurring, and you are nearly there on your path to creating something really special. But this is a card of protection, okay? And I feel like you are like the guardian of the people that you really care about. That comes with a lot of responsibility, of course, but you must remain balanced in life, because if you're always feeling like in a bit of a fight or flight kind of energy, then you're always going to be in that heightened state. And again, I feel like you are recognizing where you put too much pressure upon yourself in order to be there all the time for everybody. Recognize that you're here to enjoy your life as well and to have fun. I mean, it is in the resistance position energy, which means a lot of you have been in a period of isolation. And I feel like you are coming out of that period now. You're feeling a little bit more wanting to be sociable, okay? You may be looking at new ventures or new ways of living. Some of you are transforming your personal circumstances or wanting to connect to new events, new festivals, new people, new kind of practices, because you're curious about how they can benefit you, body, mind, and soul. So I see you on a path of discovery right now and seeing your life from a different perspective. But I also see you all healing a lot of wounds, okay? Releasing all those things that hurt you, because the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. And in the reverse position, it means, you're not going to be hurt anymore. You're aware of your sovereignty and you're taking ownership of that as well. Now also, I feel this is you questioning the next steps on your journey. There may be a different path that you're called to take. You may have started out on a certain path and it dissolved in some way and you've been called to go in a different direction. The goal will still be the same. You will still feel contentment and love for whatever it is that you do. And I see a period of things getting infinitely easier for you as well. With the Six of Pentacles in the resistance position, I feel there's an energy here of, as I said earlier, imbalance. This could be on a hormonal level, but I'm also being given that you give all of yourself to every situation. And that is admirable, of course, but I feel like you're called to look at reciprocity in your life. There are periods when you can step back and allow a person to come to you, or allow a person to notice that you have got a lot on your plate. I feel like you tend to struggle with doing everything yourself sometimes, and that is also something that you need to learn, that sometimes you can delegate, okay? Or sometimes you can put something on the back burner and do it another day. You don't have to do everything all at once, is what I'm being given with this card. Now also, the Six of Pentacles, it's almost like nothing surprises you in life because you're always guarded. And I feel some of you, that's taken away a little bit of your sparkle or the magic in life. And I feel like you are rediscovering that magic, and it is within you, but it is outside of you as well. So I feel like you're being called to embrace new journeys, new adventures, and connect to things that perhaps you haven't done before, because that's going to give you a new lease of life there as well. Things are going to work out in unexpected ways for you and develop, and I feel the universe is going to be exhibiting some generosity, reminding you that the world is actually full of pleasant surprises, not always negativity. And just when you're beginning to doubt, because sometimes you do doubt, I feel like you're being reminded that what you want will be received, and it will show up at your door. And I feel there is something wonderful the universe wants to offer you, because you have the Wheel of Fortune there and the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles literally means the universe steps in to offer you something that you feel like is missing in your life, and you're going to be so surprised. Maybe even cry tears of joy, because this card, as you can see, is big old eye there, and as a lot of almost like a waterfall. And you are someone who is very emotional, very sensitive. You have a thundering waterfall of emotions deep in your soul, but you're called to pour that emotion into things that feel good, okay? Now, of course, it's number 14. When you really connect that to the major arcanas, that is the Temperance card. So, of course, it's about balance and harmonizing your emotions, your hormones as well, but also about your reactions to things. And everything is going to come to you in moderation. Now, of course, this card is the spark that lights up your whole world. It's you living purposefully through your passions. And I feel like you're called to do that. You're someone who normally does that, but I feel like you've been met with resistance sometimes, and things have been difficult, been challenging. But I do see that life is shifting for you, and I see that some of you actually have more than one purpose in life, and it's that passion that makes us feel more alive. So if you feel that you've been stuck in a rut recently doing one thing over and over again, because that's life, we all get into a repetitive cycle, I feel like you're being called to rediscover a passion that you used to do, or a hobby, or you're called to embark on a journey of discovery about what really sets your soul on fire, because I feel here the universe is going to reward you with an opportunity for that. Now, for some of you, because of course the Ace of Cups is the cup of love, it's all about unconditional love and emotional care. And I feel when I address this to your energy in particular, I feel sometimes you have been highly pressurized upon yourself. There may have been periods where you have torn yourself down, doubted yourself in some way, and I feel like you've been called to shift that negative self-talk and have compassion for yourself. I also feel this energy of you having experiences in love that have been really difficult, okay? You could probably write a book on relationships and, the difficulties, the challenges, the fight, and the passion, the intensity, and the conflict, and the love, and the desire, and all of those things. And I feel if you're single right now, you're about to meet someone who offers you the love that you truly deserve and desire, okay? And it is without challenge. I mean, no relationship is 100% challenge-free, but I feel like you meet a person who wants to be your teammate, someone who wants to walk the journey of life and love with you. But if you're currently in a high-level commitment with a person, I feel this person wants to solidify how they feel about you. They want to remind you that they love you. But ultimately, this energy comes down to your energy, because this reading is about you, and you are lovable. And you are loved. And this is something that you must remember, both from people in spirit who have gone before you in your family lineage, your guides, the universe. The universe wants you to thrive, but also wants you to learn lessons. And I feel like you have passed a test in your life, a major one, and now you're attracting more rewards because of the way that you dealt with things. Because at the heart of it, you are a loving, passionate human being, and you always want the best for people, and that karma is coming back around to you. The Ace of Cups represents something being offered to you, something that you're really going to love. But also, I feel some of you have needed a break because you've gone through a very challenging time where you felt burnt out. Empathy burnout, I feel a lot of you have experienced, and now you are refilling your cup by taking a pause or respite and recognizing that you don't always have to fight. It's almost like you've had to fight for every single thing that you have in your life right now. And now I feel there is a breakthrough happening for you where you can drop your shield, where you don't have to feel exhausted on a soul level. I feel a lot of you are cathartically getting something out of your system. In particular, it could be a person, but I feel more than anything, it's been that things have been unfair, okay? Things have been a battle, and I feel things are about to work out for you in ways that you cannot even imagine just yet because you cannot see it, but you will see it, you will witness it, and the things that you've been working towards and patiently, diligently hoping would show up for you are about to show up for you. Whether it's an opportunity, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a personal transformation, whatever it is, I feel like you're going to receive it and your heart is going to sing with joy. Now we also have a Queen of Pentacles here. There's two energies, of course, two people here. So this could be you, sort of aspects of self, as it were, diligently working on your passions and earning money, for example, securing your financial future. But also I feel this is more about you transforming something in your home life. In terms of people, I feel this could be your allies, the people that you really let into your life. But more than anything, that Queen of Pentacles, it indicates you work hard for the life that you have. And I feel like you pay attention to your surroundings, and I feel you are someone who actually is very liked by a lot of people who want to help you in your endeavors. But sometimes they look at you being very self-sufficient, that you do things by yourself. They feel like you've got it. So they don't dare approach you to ask if they could help. And you may have noticed that in your life, but sometimes I feel like you wish that they'd still come towards you and say, hey, do you need help with that? Because it just lets you know that they see you. Because a lot of the time you feel that you have to be that warrior showing up, and you wish some people would understand the challenges you've been going through and really see you, okay? Now, of course, this could also represent a relationship. You've had some difficulties with a person, and I feel that this relationship is turning around in some way, and this person is going to prove their loyalty to you in some way, and I feel they may do something that really shocks you. For some of you, it could be they pop the question, ask you to marry them, for example, or it could be that they want to renew vows in some way. For some of you, this could be like surprise in love, that you meet someone new. But ultimately, the Queen of Pentacles, it indicates that you are someone who is honest, you are true, and whenever there is a challenge, you stand up and you protect everyone who is involved. Also, this is a card of magnetism. It indicates you're attracting more wealth. So I do see more money coming on in here, but ultimately I feel like you are learning to conserve your energy for the things that matter. Do not sweat the small stuff is what I'm being given there, because I see a lot of you trying to manage your stress levels and worry and all of those things. Now, this is the card that perhaps we'll get the Death card on, but we've got the Tower at the end here, which means radical transformation. It's very important to recognize that when frequencies are shifting and raising, everything else falls away, okay? Friendships that you've outgrown, situations that no longer serve a purpose, even outdated beliefs start to change and transform. And I feel like you're in that period of transforming right now because you are raising vibrations. Remember, a lightning bolt always represents the higher vibration, the epiphany, the realization, the sudden kind of acknowledgement that there is an awakening. And I feel like you've been going through a major awakening for quite some time. You're actually a very awakened person, but it's almost like nothing really shocks you anymore. And sometimes that can actually rob you of the sparkle of life. But I also feel like you're reconnecting to that now. Now, I'm going to pull a card on the Tower, because the Tower can indicate you've been stuck in a cycle of fear, or you've been stuck in a cycle of always having to be the warrior, the person who is strong for yourself, but also for everybody. And although you're still a very powerful energy and you really are a force to be reckoned with, I feel there's this kind of like major breakthrough here where it's a release of pressure. It's like you don't have to do that anymore because life gets infinitely better and easier. Okay, so let me just pull a card on this Tower. Yeah, there's something being offered from the universe here to you with that Four Cups. So Four Cups can indicate some of you, you're just fed up of the way things always have to be. You've had certain expectations, been disappointed, let down, and those expectations haven't always been met. But now I feel like you're going to be surprised by something that's being offered. You can see that cup coming from the turbulent cloud, which represents a testing time, but now you're being rewarded. And just when you least expect it, you're going to make progress. There could also be a sudden transformation or move. The Chariot card basically means that you are changing your life in some way and that you are responding to things differently. You're very determined to make a major change and you're overcoming any challenges to get to where you want to go. There's a victory in sight with this. And some of you, I feel like you're releasing control. You're allowing the universe to guide you on the next steps. You know, the Chariot card, there's no reins on that Chariot card. This person is using the power of their mind to connect to their higher self, but also to their intuition and to the law of the universe. And I feel both of you in co-creatorship are going to create a very special life indeed, and you're actually going to get to where you want to go. A lot of you are trying to make a physical move. It could be a new home, new job, as I mentioned earlier. Some of you are trying to be more nomadic in your working environment if you're in a career. It could be that you're trying to work on the go, for example. But these surprises, I mean, the Tower is a surprise. That's ultimately what it means. And it is a Scorpio Aries energy. So you're not afraid of that Tower. So here you can see there is a surprise coming to this person. Something that is more rewarding and fulfilling than ever before that helps you make progress or move away from something that has been difficult. It's almost like I see you coming out of a comfort zone in order to fulfill a destiny in some way. And I feel the logical next steps are going to be apparent for you and you're moving forward. Ten of Cups, you're going to be truly happy there. And I just want to show you at the bottom of the deck there, we've also got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I'm not sure why I got that Death card earlier, but there's obviously a reason why I felt it was present. But that Ten of Cups, this is a happy ever after. This is about you and your family or your soul tribe, you know, really being content with life, enjoying the moment, and aspiring to a certain lifestyle that will truly make you happy. It's another 10, my guide just said. So I feel there's a lot of endings and beginnings that you've been experiencing, but now there is a new beginning in some way, and it has that happy ending there for you as well. I'm just going to go and take some final cards before I close your reading. That Tower is not to be feared. It basically means if you've been feeling stuck or you've been in fight or flight mode, now is the time to take that leap of faith. And I feel it's important to recognize that normally in the Tower card, two people, they take a leap of faith out of the Tower, because if they remain where they are, because basically the Tower is a reminder. I'm actually going to show you the Tower here. The Tower is a reminder that something isn't quite working or has made you feel stuck in life. And the lightning bolt hits the crown chakra, which basically means you know there needs to be a transformation. So now it's time to embrace it. Because when we get signs from the universe that something isn't working, we can either ignore it or we can do something about it. And if you've been ignoring something for too long, whether it's bad behavior or a certain cycle or even a certain belief pattern or a way of talking to yourself, and you feel enough is enough, then the universe sends the Tower, like a sudden change that will make sure that you listen. So you cannot ignore something anymore. And I feel like you're coming unstuck from a bit of rut that you may have been in, and now the only way is up. There's positive change from here. Now, your final cards, we got bountiful career. So if you are in a career, there's definitely positive change here and more money on its way. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is literally multiplying wealth, okay? So a lot of you will be doing that at this time. But also Queen of Pentacles pays close attention to health. So I feel it's very important that you recognize the investment that you put into your everyday circumstances. But also Nine of Wands, I would say guard your health, especially your immune system, because I feel like some of you, you give your all to a situation which can leave you open to burnout. Okay, it can leave your immune system open to catching like a seasonal cold or sore throat, you know, especially when you're about to express yourself in some way, it'll hit the throat chakra. So please apply it to your situation. Everyone has a weak spot, and I feel you're called to look at yours. It says, keep growing in knowledge and plant your ideas. Convert seeds to profits. Okay, so if you're a creative, I would definitely say run with your passions. There's a lot of money in that. I feel like you're going from strength to strength. And, you know, there's a pumpkin there. So maybe you're thinking about launching something in and around Samhain or Halloween. Or maybe it's just this season because, you know, it's pumpkin picking time for some environments. Please apply it to your situation. But we've also got great influence, and that's who you are. You are a great influencer. You tend to be someone who is very passionate. People, they look to you for advice or the way that you live your life. And it says here, you are getting to a higher position with a lot of power. You're going to the top. But this also extends to higher vibrations. So I feel there is infinite change here. I mean, the staircase is you going upwards, and I feel you're in a secure position. And if you can't see it right now, I feel like the shift is very, very soon for you, and you will start to see that things work better in your favor. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune. Okay, so we have a teapot here. Now, the teapot can, of course, indicate that there may be a conversation that you need to have with somebody, a one-on-one, but also, you know, this can be to calm your nerves in some way. Because I'm being given here, especially with the Tower, some of you may have had some sort of shocking experience in your life. And there is like a cliched thing where people say, if you've had a shock, have a cup of tea, right? So it could be that, you know, you are just processing something that really shocked you at some point, but you're stronger because of it. And I mean, the tea energy, for some of you, it could be caffeine, perhaps, that has been affecting your hormonal levels, or a shift in your energy, or maybe brain fog in some way. But also I feel this is a call to slow down, to take a rest or take breaks in between things that you are moving forward on, and reconnect to people that you enjoy spending time with, because I feel a lot of you have been in a solitary energy for some time. Okay, so I'll leave it there, my beautiful Scorpio. Sorry, I'm being given as well, hydrate. My guide said hydrate, don't forget to hydrate. So a lot of you may be a little bit dehydrated right now as well, so rehydrate if you can there too. I'll leave it there. I hope something resonated in that reading, because it was very complex, may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor the cards that come out and the energy that comes out too. So thank you very much, my beautiful Scorpio, and love and light.